Hey. Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Movement. My name is Auntie Dawn, and this message is for the millennials, my 18 to 25-year-olds. Let me tell you, let me explain to you, if you're new to this podcast, what this is all about. We are about helping the millennials, the 18 to 25-year-olds, to live that fabulous lifestyle that they desire to live. And the reason I'm really focusing on young, maybe it's for selfish reasons, because I really believe that we have to have a paradigm shift in our mindset, because so many years we've been programmed to get out of school and get a job. And it's really sad that they program us that way. And the reason we program that way is because, whether you realize it or not, there is a 1% of the world that controls the 95% of the world. And they control them for their benefit and not for the benefit of the 95%. So I want to switch that. I want to have the 95% make enough money, because the only reason the 1% rule the world is because they make the most money, so they have access to all the resources, while the 95% of us struggle every day just to make ends meet, so we don't even have time to think about what we need to do to help other people or change the world, because we're just so busy trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills or how we're going to eat a meal. So if we learn to make that paradigm shift from just basically surviving to actually thriving and living that fabulous lifestyle, so we can have enough money to help other people. That's the whole purpose of life, is to help other people get what they want. And if we are in a position, the only way to get in a position is to change the mindset. See, if we change the mindset of the younger generation, then it'll just keep happening. You know, every new generation will start having that same mindset. See, that's what the 1% did, and that's what they know. So that's why they created the public school system. Now, I can get a little deep in it, and you know what, maybe I will, because it's time that we just start really realizing the way the world really operates. There is a 1% that controls everything, and it is basically us against them. They are here to control our minds so that we can bring them more money and be under their control. But we don't realize it, because we're just living our day to day, and we don't understand the way society has been set up. And a lot of times you are born into a certain thing, you don't see anything, because this is just the way society has always been. I'm going to turn my phone off so it don't disturb me while I'm doing this. But this is just the way that society has always been. So you just kind of go with the flow. Who are you to make waves? That's what we think. But if you make waves, and everybody your age make waves, and everybody in your generation make waves, then it sticks. Okay. So I personally believe, well, let me just explain this. The reason they created the public school system, because they needed workers. See, before the public school system was created, pretty much everybody worked for themselves. They didn't really focus on school or getting an education. They focused on their businesses. People owned their own business. Like my great grandparents, who grew up in Oxford, North Carolina, they had a store. They had acres and acres of land that they grew tobacco and corn and wheat on. They had cows and chickens and hens and what else did they have? They had like a lot of animals on their farm, and that's how they survived. They had a store and they had a gas station. And this was in a late 1800s, early 1900s. My grandmother was born in 1905, I think, or 1908. And her parents already had a store. They had a gas station and they had a farm. And what they did was they sold to their neighbors, and their neighbors sold. It's the same way the stores work now, but they had this. But everybody did. But if everybody worked for themselves and everybody created their own life, then the 1% couldn't really control them. there's nothing they could control. They couldn't control them with food because they had food. They couldn't control them with money because they made their own money. So they had to change that. They had to be in control of you. They really need to be in control. It's the power structure thing. They need power over you, but they also need people to work in their factories, because they create these $1 million factories and nobody's there to work for them. They don't make any money. So what could they do to make people want to work for them, make people want to no longer work for themselves and to work for them? Well, what they did was they created the public school system. So anything that has a system behind it, it's not made for your benefit. It's made for the benefit of the 1%. So they created a public school system, and they sold it in a way so that it seemed like it was beneficial to you. That's how they do it. They always sell it to you. Their marketing and promotions is always done in a way, it's crafted in a way so that you feel like this is something that'll benefit me. But they always have an ulterior motive, and the person that actually benefits from it is them. So what they did was they said, well, you have children that's working jobs and in the fields, and this is not good for kids. They need to be someplace getting an education. They need to be someplace learning so that they can learn how to run your business when they get older, or they can learn how to, help you out because you can educate them. And we can teach them how to read and how to write and how to do math. We can teach them these things. And then the parents was like, yeah, that makes sense. This is really good. It's a good thing. And they say, hey, we'll do it for free. And we'll pay you, because, they got to bribe you in the beginning for things that's not good for you. We will pay you to let your kids go to school, because the parents are like, well, we need the kids to help out in the business. Well, we'll pay you. Send your kids to school and we'll pay you. Okay, so they got everything covered. They're going to pay me to send my kid to school to educate me. This is wonderful. That's the way we thought, because see, the 1% that run the world, they really care nothing about you. When I tell you it's us against them, you better believe it. They care nothing about you at all. Michael Jackson had a song that said, they don't really care about us. And he's 100% true. He's telling you, they don't care about you. They care about themselves. So they created this public school system, sign the kids up. All the parents think, oh, this is wonderful, this is wonderful, this is wonderful. So they send them to these schools. And what they do is, between kindergarten and third grade, is great. This is things that you do need. Kindergarten, you learn how to socialize, how to get along with other people. You do need to know that skill. That's a skill that can help you in life. In first grade, you learn how to read. That's also a skill that can help you in life, to learn how to read. By the second grade, you learn how to write paragraphs and write sentences. And that too is a skill that can help you for life. In the third grade, you learn how to add, tell time. Oh, they don't even teach you how to tell time no more. Sorry, take that back. But at the time, they teach you how to do add, subtract, multiplications, and division. Those are things that you need. So after the third grade, in all actuality, there's really no need for the public school system. Sorry, teachers, not trying to take away from your jobs, but I'm just being real. By the fourth grade, all the way up to 12th grade, the rest of that is indoctrination. They're indoctrinating you into the way they want you to think. They feed you information. Most of it is incorrect and wrong, made up information. Like the history they teach was completely false and made up. None of that is real. They make it so that, you can believe what they want you to believe. The science that they teach you is absolutely crazy. Like they teach you how to dissect the frog. How is that going to help you for the rest of your life? Like, how is that going to bring money in your pocket, teach you how to be a good person, teach you how to be a good wife or a good husband or a good business owner or anything? What is dissecting a frog going to teach you? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't teach you anything at all. Just something they throw in to make you feel like you're doing something. All the science that you learn, none of it is even really real. What else? What else did they teach you? Now, English might be a good subject to have, because it is good to learn how to write properly so you can communicate with your words. That's a class that, is beneficial to you. The additional math that you have, like geometry and trigonometry. Unless you're going in to be an engineer, it really isn't beneficial to you. Like, you don't really need that ever. I've never, ever a day in life needed to use trigonometry or geometry, none of that. I really didn't need to use it. But all the stuff that you teach in school is just designed to program you to obey authority. It's program you to not question authority. It's to teach you, it's to program you to get a job. Ever since you were a kid, school's designed to, from time you're in preschool all the way up to the time you graduate in the 12th grade, they teach you to get an education so you can get a good job. That's it. Get an education so you can get a good job, because that's the purpose of the public school system. So you can get a job. Now, they don't teach you anything at all about life. They don't teach you anything at all about money, because they don't want you to know about money. They don't want you to know about life. They want you to be financially ignorant, because if you're ignorant, you're not going to rise up and make money and make enough as the 1%. You'll always be under them. And they also program you to hate school and hate learning. 95% of people who graduate from school don't ever pick up a book after they get out of school. And the reason this is because they hate school. School has taught them they hate reading. School has taught them they hate learning. And that's the purpose. They don't want you to learn anything. They want you just to know the stuff that they tell you. They don't want you to realize that, to continue to learn on your own, because then you'll realize that 95% of what they taught you was actually fabricated out of thin air, and actually nothing about it is reality. Nothing at all of what they taught you is reality. So they want you to, just get a job, work for them, create wealth for them, and you always be underneath them. A job, I don't care what kind of job you got, unless you're working for your family, you are under somebody else. Now they created college. Oh, before I even get to college, let me tell you that when you're in school, the entire time you're in school, they program you that when you get out of school, you only have 3 options. You have the option to go to college, which is what's heavily pushed. And parents want their kids to go to college because they've been programmed that they need college. And if they don't go to college, they're not going to be a success in life. They program you that if you can't afford to go to college, then the next best step would be to go into the military. That's what they tell you. Go into the military. If you can't afford college, go into the military, because you can get an education while you're in the military. We'll pay for your education, but you'll be in the military completely under the control of the government. The third thing they teach you is, if you don't go to college and you don't go to the military, then you go get a job. But since you're 18 and you have no skills or no experience doing anything, the only type of job you're going to get is a minimum wage job. And then you're going to be stuck for the rest of your life. This is what they tell you. Then you're going to be stuck for your rest of your life, never really being a success. Now, because they tell you this and you believe it, because you're saying to yourself, if the entire society, if everybody in the world is telling me this, then it must be true. So you just simply accept it as the facts. And because you accept it as fact, that's what happens. Because see, our mind is what controls our life and our destiny. And the things that you believe in your mind are the things that come into your life that becomes your reality. So your reality is, well, since I can't go to college and I don't want to go to the military, I can just get me a minimum wage job and struggle for the rest of my life. The main reason most marriages, see, this is what they tell you. They tell you to go to school, get an education, get a job, get married, buy a house, have children. It's work until you retire. And then after you retire, then you go enjoy life. That's what they tell you. Most people, a high percentage of people, I didn't look it up because I don't want to say exactly what it is, but a high percentage of people who, after they retire, they die within the first year or so after they retire. A lot of people. I don't remember percentages, but it's a high percentage. So you work all your life for somebody else so that you can save up to retire. So when you retire, when you're 65 years old, you get to live your life. Does that sound, if we just think about it logically, Does that make sense to you? Like really logic. See, this is what we have to start. Then we have to start using our logic. We have to start using our mind. We have to start really thinking and not just accepting things that people tell us and just accept it to be the truth. You have to start critically thinking and listening to things and then roll it over your mind and try to logically make it make sense. Logically, that makes absolutely no sense, because let me explain this to you. First of all, let's say you do what society has programmed you to do. You go to school, go to high school, you go to grammar school, all the time, go to high school, you graduate, you go to college. You get out of college, unless you were super duper rich or you were an athlete and got a scholarship, or you were exceptionally smart and got a scholarship, you're gonna come out of school with a huge debt over your head, like hundreds of thousands of dollars over your head. Now you're out of school, they give you 1 year grace period where, oh, for 1 year, you don't have to start paying back this loan. So you get a job. Now, for the most part, just getting out of school, you're gonna have an entry-level job. That's not gonna really pay you probably more than $20,000 a year, which comes down to probably about $1,800 a month is what you're gonna make. So you're gonna have to pretty much live at home with your parents, because you're not gonna really have enough money to do anything on your own. And then after a year, now your job is not gonna really give you any much of a promotion or increase in a year. If they give you an increase at all, it'll be about a 2% increase that they just give across the board. Some jobs do that. A lot of jobs don't even do that anymore. And then once they do that, you so now you might make $19.50 a month. Still not enough money. And then after that, the loan kicks in. Now you got to pay an additional $200 a month on a loan that you're going to end up paying for pretty much the next 20-something years of your life. Okay, you'll be paying this loan because, see, the purpose of college is twofold. One, the people who run this world, they need people a little more educated to run their businesses. So that's why they have introduced the college or the university system. They need you a little bit more smart because they want you to be able to run their business. Even if you go to business school is not really teach you how to start your own business. Business schools teach you how to run somebody else's business for them, because it's all about you staying in the 95% and not making it to the 1%. Now, if you go to college, you can get a better job that pays more money. You might not get a job and make, you're gonna come right out the door making a lot of money. You can make maybe $60,000, $80,000 a year coming right out the door, depending on your college education and what it is that you studied while you were in school. And as a 22-year-old, that's a lot of money. So you're like, hey. And over the course of the years, if you do right and what they tell you to do and bring them more money, they will increase your pay. But you'll always be beholden to them. They tell you when it's time to eat. They tell you when you can get sick. They tell you when you can go on vacation. They tell you you can't, watch your kids do anything because, you have to be here. So you pretty much a slave to their business, and you can't quit because you depend on this money to support your lifestyle. And that's what it is. We get hooked. We get addicted to, I can't leave this because I need this to support my lifestyle. And most of the time, the only time we leave is if they lay us off or fire us. Very few people just quit unless they get really sick and tired and they find another job, possibly paying more money, and then they start all over again. See, that's just the cycle. And then you do this up until you're 65, and hopefully you saved up enough money so that you have enough to live off of for the rest of your life, because they will give you Social Security, which is really a Ponzi scheme. And I'm gonna go into that a little bit deeper, but you can live off the Social Security give you, which is a very minimum amount of money. And hopefully you have a pension that will pretty much cover your bills, but there's not much else you are going to be able to do. You're not gonna be able to travel the world like they fed to you when you were, feeding into this retirement plan. See, the thing is, everything that you've learned is upside down and backwards. Everything that you learn, what they tell you is good is bad for you. And what they tell you is bad for you is actually good for you. And I'm saying this to lead into to the purpose of this particular podcast. And this particular podcast is to explain to you why I think, why I believe the best business for young people to get into so that they can actually live that fabulous lifestyle that they want to live right now, so that they can start helping their family and helping their community right now, so they can start helping other people make money also right now, is called network marketing. Well, some people call it multi-level marketing. And the reason I think that this is the best business for you to get into is because what network marketing does is what business schools should do. Network marketing teaches you how to become a business owner. It teaches you, now people say, well, you're not a business owner because you're really working for somebody else. Technically, well, yes and no, because you don't work for the company, you work for yourself, but they give you a venue, an avenue, something that you can use to create money and wealth for yourself while you help their company make money. Does it make sense? That's what everything should be about. The more people you help determines the amount of income that you make. That's just it. That's just business. Point blank, period. The more people you can provide a solution for, the more money you make. And that's the principle of what network marketing is built on, except it's built on the only way for me to become successful is if I help other people become successful too. So to me, that's the best business model you can have. And the reason I said it because it is actually built on principles that are taught to us in the Bible. Now, before you start saying, well, I'm not a religious person. The Bible is not about religion either. That's another man-made concept that's put on us in society to make us stay away from the Bible. Because this wealth of information in the Bible is definitely a business book. It's a book that you can learn how to create wealth from. But they tell you, oh, that's the white man's book to control society. It's crazy because there's absolutely no white people in the Bible. So in the biblical days, there were no white people. They just didn't exist. And that's another story. But the 1% has taken the Bible and used it as a weapon. They've taken the Bible to teach you to hate it because they don't want you to read it. Same thing with network marketing. Now, you mentioned network marketing, and people will say, oh, that's a scam, a pyramid scheme. That's the first thing they say. It's a pyramid scheme because people hear things and they just repeat things without logically thinking. Ask yourself, what is a pyramid scheme? What is that? Do you know what a pyramid scheme is? Or is that just something you repeat? Let me explain to you a pyramid and the scheme that the 1% has put out into society to make you not look into network marketing because it'll benefit you. That's all they do. They need you to be employees. They need you to work for them. So anything that might take you off that path and show you a way to make money, they're going to make it appear to be something bad. And what's bad for you, like getting a job and working for somebody else and building their legacy, they make you think that that's good. Like going to college and getting in debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars so you can work for somebody's company, they make you feel like that's good and anything else is bad. See, a pyramid scheme this is a pyramid. See this? Whoa, what'd that look like? Rockefeller and that Jay-Z symbol. Not only Jay-Z symbol, but it's the symbol of the 1%. See, the 1% they belong to a secret society religion, and this symbol means something to them. They created a lot of things in this world, so pyramids is very important and good to them. A pyramid is a good thing to them. That's why pyramids, if you look at a lot of logos, you'll see a lot of logos are shaped like a pyramid. A pyramid is also on the back of a dollar bill. So the 1% love the pyramids, okay? But they tell you that network marketing is a pyramid scheme and something you should stay away from because it's something that's really good for you. But a pyramid is basically, the reason they say it's a pyramid scheme because they say it's one person at the top making a lot of money, everybody else on the bottom is making less money. That is called an organizational structure, not a pyramid scheme. It's an organizational structure, and every organization in the world is built on that very same structure. There's a person at the top, the owner or the CEO. And the owner or the CEO makes way more money than everybody else that works for the business. The owner and the CEO, they're the top person. Now, under the owner and CEO, there's the executive level. These are the people who work mainly for the CEO to come up with the, whatever it is that they're doing to make more money and make sure everything runs properly. That's the executive people who help support. Now, there's a few of them, there's more than one, but there's a few of them. Then under that is the, hold on one second, this is my daughter, I gotta tell her. Hey, Erica, can I call you right back? Is it an emergency? Let me call you right back because I'm in the middle of my podcast. I'll call you right back. All right, okay, no problem, bye-bye. So, then there's under the executives, then there's the managers. Now there's more managers than there are executives. So what is that? One person, then let's say 6 people, then let's say 12 people. And then under the managers is just the regular support staff, which could be hundreds of people. If you were to put if you were to put the structure down on paper, it would be shaped like a pyramid. Network marketing is shaped pretty much the same. You have a person on the top, they bring in 2 people, become binary qualified, and those 2 people bring in 2 people, and so it does end up exactly like an organizational chart. No different, but you've been programmed to say it's a pyramid scheme, but you haven't thought about what that means. So that's just smoke and mirrors to make you not look into it, because you can actually get rich in network marketing with no experience, no college education, no, not even understanding business. And you can learn the skills needed to run a business. And you are running a business you work for yourself, but you don't work by yourself. You have people whose job it is to make sure you succeed. Because when you succeed, they succeed. So it's the best business model there is, because there's no other business model out there where somebody else, any corporation, if I work in a corporation, I get my own personal promotion depending on what I do. I can cut your throat. I can sabotage you to get to the top. That's what corporations is about. But network marketing is not about that. What network marketing does is, the only way I can make it to the top is if I help build you up. I have to make sure that you become successful so that I can also grow. It's no cutthroats here. It's no, well, there's people that people cutthroat anyway, because there are people every place, but that's not the model that the company is built on. The model is built on helping people. I help you become successful. And when I help you become successful, you turn around and help somebody else become successful. And then they turn around and help somebody else become successful. And then they turn around and help somebody else become successful. And the more people that do this, the higher up I become and the more money I make. That's the best business model. So I just want to come on today and tell you about why I think network marketing is the best business model to get into. And matter of fact, I'm in a network marketing company, and I'm focused on young kids. I want as many people to come in as possible, because we're showing people how to do this for free. Like, you don't even have to pay a dime to come in and start. You can come into our network marketing organization and we'll show you exactly what you do by leveraging the power of other people's money. And we show you exactly how to do that, because it is in our best interest that you be successful. It's my best interest that you become successful, because I want to change the whole mindset of everybody that's in this age group, so that everybody can have money and become successful, have resources, because we're going to need it really soon. I'm telling you, it is us against them, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And kids are getting out of college and they're not finding jobs, but they still owe this money that they borrow, and they can't find a job in the field that they study. And pretty soon, in the next very short period of time, in about 3 years, they are going to be putting almost every job on automation. We're going to lose about 30% or more of jobs that's available, because they're going to be putting them on automation. And the kids that were coming out of high school with no degree, not going further in their education, they're not going to be able to find any type of job, not even the minimum wage job. So you need to start really seriously thinking about your future and taking care of yourself, so you can take care of your family, so you can help your community, so you can help the people that you love and care about. I want to take you and shake you and let you really listen to this. Now, go and check anything I say. Don't ever believe people for what they tell you. Research it, check it out, find out for yourself. If there's anything that I've told you that's incorrect, approach me and tell me. I'm telling you, I never would steer you wrong. I've studied this for many, many years. I know how society works, and I'm telling you, it's time that you start taking control of your life. If you want to start right now, you can. Just send me a message at Auntie Dawn at AuntieDawn.com. Just say, hey, I'm ready to start. Or you can find me on Instagram at the official Auntie Dawn, or you can find me on Facebook at the official Auntie Dawn. Say, hey, I'm ready to start, because I want you to start changing your lifestyle. Get that fabulous life. This is the fabulous lifestyle movement, because it's a movement. We want you to live the fabulous lifestyle and help other people live the fabulous lifestyle too, so you can start taking control back, taking control over your life. Okay, until next time, love you, see you. It's your Auntie Dawn saying peace and blessings.